Welcome back to another episode of Big Six Bants. Obviously, we got another episode of some ball talk, you know what I'm saying? Little 1v1 thing. Obviously, we had yesterday's episode of Roms. Got another episode of my guy Cass. Obviously, United bombers everywhere, man. United bombers everywhere. It's a mad thing, bro. It's a mad thing right now. United bombers everywhere. Some are happy, some are sad. You lot, let me know how you're feeling. First of all, though, make sure you guys smash the like button on a quick thing. You know what I'm saying? Smash the like button. And yeah, man, we're here to talk some ball. We're here to talk some ball. Make sure you go and subscribe to Never a Foul. Don't be.
You're on mute. You're on mute. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're on mute. Or is it me? Is it just me or is he on mute?
Wait, what?
Yeah, there you go. I heard you said we're here. You said we're here to talk some ball, and then they just went mute. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. FSG try to lock me off. Ineos try to lock me off, blood. Ineos are ready to lock me off just then. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But yeah, no. We're back to talk some ball in it. Obviously, United is the topic. And yeah, man, smash the like button, all that good stuff. Subscribe to Never a Foul in the title, don't be a bitch. So yeah, what we saying, man?
Quick disclaimer, man.
What are you saying? Because I actually haven't got your opinion on this. Like, I ain't even like what's going on? Rashford ready to leave. Amorim's come out with some quotes. We'll read those in a second as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, the PR machine seems to be like, what's going on, bro? What's going on with the PR machine today?
Amazing. That's the way I need it. And you see the way he answered that interview as well. It's just the way he even tried to spin it. That's the maddest part. Like, you know, he said, I'm ready for something fresh, like something new. And then Amorim's like, he's correct. Like, we're ready for something new at Man United and all this kind of stuff. And like, when that kind of ruined it, like, he's the master deflector.
No, listen, Rashford's definitely been told not to come back. That's one thing. That is one.
Actually, we'll know if he's traveling with the squad or not. I said this year. We know when we said
he's been told not to come back in it. Personally, that's my opinion in it. I think he's been told not to come back.
See, I know he's being lined up for January. I feel like you don't come out with that interview unless you got someone lined up. Otherwise, you look like an idiot. No.
Facts. You ain't lying.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, on that notice, it's, you know, Saudi might be calling, isn't it? Apparently all the Saudi clubs want him. J-Bert Telegraph said it as well. So he's not like he's some bum that said it is. He's come out with it. So if all the Saudi clubs want him, line up. What can we have a little 50 M's if you don't mind over there? Can we have a little 50 M's? Cash. Straight up peas. He needs to go, man. It's good. I'm glad he come out of that interview because I reckon Ineos said that you can do it. I reckon they said you can do it. Like, you know, we talked about if Ineos, like with Dan Ashworth being ruthless and that, oh, United don't know what they're doing. Let's see if they're going to be ruthless with the players as well. Well, here you go. This could be it. See, now, if he's back in the squad, that tells me, like, everything I need to know in it. But if he's not, then it tells me, like, Ineos kind of said, get out. Like, you're free to leave. Like, you pulled the final straw. When allegedly you're getting dragged out of a nightclub or club or whatever 2 days before a derby.
10 seconds ago, bomba. Ooh, little bomba.
Is it a proper one or is it?
Garnacho back with the Man United squad for tomorrow's game. Marcus Rashford was absent as the squad departed Manchester.
Yeah, expected. Always just come up for me as well.
Oh, it's just oh. So Garnacho is with the squad.
Yeah, I expected Nacho to come with the squad though, because he's young, innit, and all that kind of stuff. He's not in that Rashford zone yet, but it doesn't mean he can't get gone. But that means last time, where did Nacho play? He played as a wing back. Run it up, bro. As long as he's not in one of those 10s, utilize him, innit? That's the way I look at it. Go play him right wing back or something, because he wants to hug the touchline all the time. Do it. I don't mind. I'm here for it, as long as he's not in one of those 10 positions. But you could see with United anyways, with the City squad, in my opinion, the lack of option. You need to rotate. And even if you don't have the best players in the world, you still need players to do stuff. Like, you do need them to rotate. Regardless, I don't expect Ahmad to play tomorrow. I don't expect Mazraoui to play tomorrow. I reckon they will go on the bench.
But do you think this is all... You know how we spoke about the United PR machine, yeah? for a second, let's just speak about that for a second. Yeah. Do you think there's any coincidence that kind of obviously remember we all kind of spoke about what players should do in their spare time and whatnot. Remember we spent like 2 streams on that pretty much. And remember when we kind of was like, like the clubs kind of speak it like the information, not just the club, sorry, the information coming about Rashford is kind of like toxic and whatnot, and it's too much now. Do you think, and here's my like theory, I'm not 100% with it. Do you think that the club has kind of built Rashford's image to be a bit tarnished towards this season? And the whole going to the basketball game, all the papers talking mad about him. So it's kind of like, it's not like Man United are doing this service to Rashford. It's like Rashford's doing a disservice to Man United and he needs to go. Do you think that's kind of all pushing towards the narrative because everything happens for a reason? Do you know what I mean? Like painting Rashford in a bad picture so it doesn't seem like United have done Rashford dirty. And I don't think United have done Rashford dirty, to be fair. But do you know what I mean? Do you think there's any correlation with that?
I don't think United's done Rashford dirty. I think he's done it to himself.
No, I'm saying that the information being pushed out. You see the information.
But that's I don't.
Do you think that has anything to do with it? Like coincidentally, going to basketball games, caught in a nightclub, left out the squad, and then all of a sudden he says,
"Yeah, but that's not Man. I don't think that's Man United. I just think that's media, regardless." Right?
You don't think it's the PR machine trying to make it seem like this departure isn't like dropping out one of your own kind of thing? You don't think it's
because I look. At the end of the day, he shouldn't be getting no special treatment, regardless of how it looks or whatever. I don't really have the answer. No one complained when McTominay left. That's also a product of Manchester United. No one cried when Elanga left, really. That's another Man United product. So what makes him any different? Like the brother has scored, all right, let me ask you, yeah? If you had a player that gave you one good season, but in the other 3 seasons out of that 4, he scored you a grand total of like 14 goals, and he's an inside forward, how do you feel?
No, obviously not good enough.
And also in matches, if he's not giving you 100% visibly, about 5, 15. Yeah. How would you feel? Do you look at that thinking you're a scrub?
It's not good enough, especially if he's on 300. If he's on,
but that was recent. That was after the good season. But if you go look at his 2 seasons previous, that he scored something like 4 goals and 7 goals, and this season he's already on 4 goals. I think it was.
Do
you know what I mean? So why do I need to give him any special treatment? What? Because he fed some kids during lockdown?
No, listen. The bottom line is, you know what I'm saying?
No. It's just I think it's being blown out of proportion. Because guess what? It's Manchester United. Of course, it's going to be. People are now going to say, and they're going to some, which is correct as well. But people say, what about Jack Grealish? That's the line I've seen the most. What about him? When he got licked, when he came back in training licked, guess what? He got frozen out from the squad. Does anyone know that? That didn't come out because Man City keep things quiet and it's Man City, right? Yes. But Jack Grealish wins. When you win, no one cares about what you do, And no one knows that. If you're doing well, does anyone if you're doing really well, but you're doing a bit of a madness, does your mum and dad get onto you? No, not really. You're doing well. They don't need to worry about you. See, it's only highlighted when you're doing bad. And that's the way I look at it. It's just a toxic relationship. So when Jack Grealish hasn't done much in a year, you should know that he was locked out the squad for about 6 weeks. By the way, that didn't get thrown in. When he got injured and all that, and whatnot, and not in the squad at times, even after that period, you do realize he had to make it up to Pep to show that he can be back in the squad. He got frozen out. He was training. But Pep doesn't he doesn't take that bullshit. The whole point is there's a standard for me. And if United don't implement that standard, then you're going to have these sort of situations in the future. I think United's done him dirty as well in a way. But I think he ain't done himself that service. But I reckon he's just a product of what Man United has been in the last 10 years. A very talented player, because he is a very talented player. And he hasn't had the tools to develop into one actually a model professional. Does that make sense? And also just ability wise, just learning. United's had how many coaches over the last since Rashford's been there? About 5. So who's he really learning off? The one guy that he learned off. So the one guy that really he took to, and you can tell, was Louis van Gaal. He's the one that likes the youngsters, brings them up, whatever, and he's the one that put him in that situation at such a young age. Louis Van Gaal's
I think Mourinho gave him his debut, no? It was Mourinho gave him his debut.
No. Van Gaal did.
Was it Van Gaal?
When Marcel got injured, he came in and scored 2 goals against everyone.
And he scored against Arsenal. He scored
Midland or whatever they're called, I think it is, and whatnot. I think he even got an England debut goal as well. You know what I mean? Like he was meant to be the next best thing. Couldn't work out what it was. Future, here it is, man. This is Rashford, man. But I want him to do well though. But if you go to Arsenal, I hope your footballing career sucks. Do you get it? Like because you're not.
If he goes to Arsenal, but
you're my op now. Like I don't. Once you leave this club, I don't care about you no more. Don't care that you pay for that academy. You think I care about Elanga?
I said Elanga. You said don't care about Januzaj no more.
Do you think I care about James Garner, Michael Keane, all these men over in Everton? No. Do you think I care about Dwight McNeil? No. You're just another product from the past.
What Dwight McNeil came from your bit?
There's bare people that come from United. Bare. But it's just
obviously. But I think with Rashford, the difference with Rashford and those guys is that Rashford's ceiling was way higher than any of those guys. Any of them. By far.
Yeah, of course.
James Garner had a bit of promise about him. He had a little bit of something about him when he was playing in midfield. Elanga had a little bit of something about him when Ronaldo was there. But Rashford had a different sort of ceiling. I think there's a massive piece of sentiment with Rashford because I feel like even though the Man United fans have washed their hands of him already now, I still think there's a lot of sentiment with Rashford deep down. I still think there is sentiment.
Of course there is. It would mean more to, I would say, Mancunians especially, more than me. And then obviously if you support Manchester United in general, it would still mean a little more because it is an academy product. But at the end of the day, I want to win. You do not fit into any of those positions the manager wants. So you can go. You're free to leave. This is why I say, you got messages, right? On Twitter, whatever. Oh, we're just going to go replace him with a scrub of another left winger like this guy's in the scrub already. I'm like, we don't even play with left wingers. What do you not understand? There's you could play FIFA, Football Manager, whatever. You could even do lineup builder. If you go play FIFA Ultimate Team, are you going to play Rashford in the 10?
Man said lineup builder. It's nasty.
Bro, anything you
want. Shout out lineup builder though, man. Shout out lineup builder.
Do you know what I mean? Do you get what I mean? So on that notion, it's like he doesn't fit into what the manager wants. He tried him in the 9, he got a goal, and then he doesn't do half the things Højlund does. Pressing, making a situation, even if Højlund does fall all over the ground. When it comes to Xerxes, at least with Xerxes, you can come on as a 10 if need be. Xerxes' cameos of late have been really good. You can tell he's learning-ish, but he doesn't really fit, I don't think, what Ten Hag wants. But then he got used as a false 9, had his best... No, sorry, Amorim. He got used as a false 9, had his best game in the United shirt, bar the Fulham cameo. And then, we'll see. But with Rashford, it's you want to press. The thing is, I feel like sometimes he just does running to look like he is pressing. If you can't fit to the mold, why should you stay here? What, just because you're academy product? Yeah, okay, you know what? Sit on the bench for 350k, get bantered by everybody else that you got someone that's you know what I mean?
Hear it.
I don't believe that Rashford's a cancer in the dressing room at all, though. I don't agree with that. I don't think he's actually that bad. I don't think he's.
But this is what I mean. I feel
I feel like that's what's it called again? A defamation of character. Is that correct? Is that I think they assassinate his character way too much.
But this is what I'm saying. Do you feel like there is just a little bit of the club that's kind of gone, yeah, you know what? If this news is going to come out about Rash, because all I'm saying is much easier to tell someone not to come back when the positivity PR is out the window. And that is kind of where it is looking. It's not completely like that for Rashford, but the news about Rashford hasn't been the greatest recently. And I feel like this was almost the right time to let the news, because this interview was probably done. I don't think this interview was done yesterday. It might have been done yesterday, but I'm saying that as in, I feel like it's probably the perfect time to drop that news or allow the club to get that information out.
For me, a lot of United fans might not agree maybe, but I thought he conducted that interview very well. He wasn't, do you know what I mean? He didn't do it. There's nothing in disrespect for it. He's saying what every Man United fan is saying. He's ready for a new challenge, and it's probably best. And in our words,
both parties, isn't it? It's probably best for both.
Yeah, he's told you what United fans have been saying and where it is. And I think he needs to be playing in a position and a team that caters to him a little bit more so he can thrive. United don't have the midfield to sustain Rashford going forward. He probably go to Arsenal. Arsenal control games more time. I'm pretty sure he get chance after chance, and it probably suits him a little bit. It probably suits Arsenal. I think he'll take to Arsenal if he goes there. If he goes to Saudi, it's money motivated, in my opinion, but it might be his only option, so it might not be. You know what I mean? He could. What that tells me, he's not willing to rot on the bench and stay there and sit there, which I think is a good thing. Yeah, and he might not want to drop his wage. So we'll see what his ambition about. He might just do a year in Saudi and then come back. He's still got the age on him. Do you know what I mean? So again, I think definitely he's been blown out of proportion. I think he's been nothing but respectful in the way he's been interviewed and how he handles the media as well. But I don't think he's helped himself. And I think the last part really is the last part for me. It's like Amorim's just come on the block. And you're already going out doing a madness after he's just said the club needs to set the standard. Like he can do whatever he wants. He even said it, Amorim. It's not up to him. It's up to the club how they deal with things. Casemiro and that going abroad when you've got a game or a new manager coming in. That's up to the club to set the standard. Now you got 2 days before a derby and you're getting potentially, allegedly carried out of a club because you're yacked and then you go and fight with one of the youngsters. Come on, man. That is when my man said when he came, it's a fresh slate. Like it's up to him. So already, if that is to be true,
I think, but that's what I'm saying. There's so many avenues to this, and there's so many avenues. By the way, I didn't say this. Big up KJ for becoming a member as well. By the way, big up yourself, my bro.
He's a senior player, Monts. At the end of the day, you're a senior player. If all the youngsters like Mainu, Kokonki, and all these lot look up to him and see his behavior, we already know as just normal humans every day. If you look up to that, they're going to think that's okay as well. Look at what... I'm going to give you a perfect example, by the way. Rashford and Lingard. Lingard is older than him. He used to look up to Lingard. Lingard used to do the same sort of antics. Yeah? Which was just a normal standard at United. He's just followed suit, sorry. Wrong line.
Yeah. I don't... By the way, I'm not saying that... I don't think you man need Rashford, by the way. I don't think you man need Rashford. I do think Man United still lack a bit of X factor that Rashford has, but I don't think you need him. The way I see it is that, again, he's a victim of what Man United... I said this to Rums yesterday. He's a victim of what Manchester United have been over the last, 10, 12 years. And if you want, as I said, if you want to paint a picture of the development, Marcus Rashford is your perfect example. Inconsistency and not consistent growth and development as a player. And obviously, speaking of you spoke about Amorim in it and how it's a fresh slate and there's not really a position for him. Well, listen, Amorim has spoken on it. You know what I'm saying? We've got the quotes here.
Did you get the quote? He dealt with that.
Yeah.
Have you seen the quotes? Insane. His quotes are insane. This guy is a master. I've never seen... I wouldn't say I've never. That's a wrong lie because Alex Ferguson... Yeah, but it's the way he deflected. And he uses his interview. Get there, that's one. Arne Slot comes across so good in his first few interviews. You know how hard of that to be as a manager that's got no credibility.
Contracts over and over.
And he deflects it. And the thing is, even when Pep came in and talked about do you remember the standard part when Pep used 2016? I tell this anyone, go watch some of the Pep interviews about what needs to be done at the club. I tell you now, because it didn't end that great with Pellegrini, but the way he came across, you're talking about an older version of David Silva, right? And obviously you can't talk to Pep. Yaya Toure is already, they're not in favour. They had to deal with a lot, by the way. Go watch that. Go look at Sir Alex Ferguson when Rooney would wanted to leave and whatnot. Look how he dealt with that. The best person in my mind when it comes to interviews anyways. And then Mourinho, that guy's just a self-destructive bastard, but he's entertainment. I think he's really... Because you know what? I think people will say, look how Ten Hag was talking at the start. Ten Hag couldn't talk about that. Look how he dealt with Sancho. Ten Hag, and now look at the way he's dealing with this Rashford situation.
Yeah, no, I hear it, and I'm just obviously looking at this, bro. Just to read. I hope it's easy enough for everyone to read. I'll zoom in a little bit, but I'll zoom in. So here you can see it. It says, Ruben Amorim, he is right. We have here a new challenge, the biggest in football. We are in a difficult situation. I hope all my players are ready. He also says United need big talent, and he is a big talent. So he just needs to perform at the highest level. That's my focus. I just want to help Marcus. We are better with Marcus. I will try different things
Yeah.
to push Marcus to the best levels he showed in the past. Now, obviously, I think there's a little bit of Arnie slot in there with the Mo Salah contract kind of thing, where little tongue in cheek in terms of, hey man, I'm just a manager trying to manage my players. You know what I'm saying? I think he's dealt with that very well. I don't know. Does anyone here think that's? I think he's spun the PR the right way. I think
Yeah, I
he's dealt
think
with that the right way. Still, I think he easily could have stood there and said, "Listen, anyone who's welcome to stay is stay. Anyone who wants to leave will leave." He could have said it like that, made it seem a bit more dark. But he seems like outward, on the outside of things, that he's ready to support Marcus Rashford in whatever way he needs. I think it's good PR from the manager. I think it's good PR. I think the PR machine's worked on the Amorim side of things. I don't know. What you know what I'm saying? 7 minutes
perfect.
ago, I'm gonna head
The
over
thing is, see, all the talk is great as well, and I think it's all good and well said. I think you couldn't put it any better. To be fair, I don't even if you had time to think about it, like I wouldn't have come out with a response to that. I would have probably said what you just said. If you want to leave, you can leave. Do you know what I mean? By the way, that's the talk is nice, but now it's
but
like
he's not with the squad. So the talk,
yeah,
like
no. But
this
to
is
be
it, and this
fair,
is what I mean.
but the one thing I want to say about the I know he's not in the squad. He did go home ill in training as well the other day, or yesterday, sorry. So that could be another factor. It could be just ill. You say, oh, but he's just ill. But you know, like if he's genuinely ill, then of course you're not going to be the squad. Makes sense, innit?
Mm.
But that could be another PR for Rashford, so he's not in and around the team. I think it'd be kind of stupid not to include him. I think if Rashford doesn't get, let's call it a bow out, yeah, like let's say he gets a move in his like last final game. He deserves his last final game, and let him get his clap and applauds. People appreciate you on your way out in it, on that kind of situation. I think he will be back within the squad, but it's up to him at the end of the day because you got suitors. You got to prove yourself that you're worthy of another club as well. People like other clubs look at this. If you want another top club and you want to behave the way you need to behave as a top professional, you would never go to a Arsenal really with Arteta or Chelsea or wherever it is, Juventus. Thiago Motta's got the standards now. You end up at a Tottenham. So which one do you want? I think he should come back into the squad. You know what I mean? Like you got nothing to lose now, but it doesn't mean you can't behave and do what you need to do as a top professional, right? This could be it. Go get us 4 or 5 goals or something when you're playing, or do the bare basics, and see you later, mate. Give me 50 million from Saudi though, cash.
I said cash.
Cash.
50 million. Cash.
I need a couple wingbacks.
Not in installments. Cash. Big up Mr. Link. He goes, not sure Trent Alexander-Arnold expected us to be this good. Don't think we aren't going to offer the wages that he wants. Felt like he's trying to let Liverpool down easy like a gal. That is another conversation to have, to be fair, going forward. Guys, we haven't got too much long left of the stream, so let's get to at least 75. We're not far off in it. You know what I'm saying? Still 120 in the house in it. So let's get that going. We are going to be going over to Never a Foul after this as well anyway. So there's plenty of content on the way.
You've got 5 minutes. We're going to carry on a conversation and see what others have to say.
And so just speaking on this though. So does anyone think he leaves in January and not the end of the season?
Yeah, he's gone in January.
This is the question.
I think he's gone in January. I'd like to think he's gone in January because why would you have that interview now? It's like when Lukaku got his interview out. Do you remember? And he went in January. I'm pretty sure he got that loan back to Inter. Was it? Did he go back to Inter?
Yeah. When he dropped the interview, but I feel like that was a bit more of an extreme situation because it was literally almost as. But the thing is though, if that remember that interview was done at the start of the year, and they dropped it then.
Yeah.
This interview probably wasn't done at the start of the year. I'm interested to know when it was probably done, but there is no.
I reckon it was recent. I reckon it was very recent because the way you're speaking about it was very recent. Or did he do this before? Like the question is, the thing is, I think Amorim said he made that recording back in summer when he was crying after the FA Cup final. It could have been made then, but
yeah, I think maybe this was for a summer move.
I think he would have clarified it.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So on that, whoa.
And let's be honest, innit? Rashford, three out of the last 4 seasons.
Man.
Three out of the last 4 seasons, yeah. Not been good enough.
Yeah, no, he had to be good.
Grace from Love Island couldn't save him.
Hey, that was just milk for the time being. Now he's gone off. He ain't with her.
Bro, the milk's all lumpy. The milk's all lumpy now, G. The milk's lumpy in that.
I got a feel. Look, I got what? Nah, it's Daps is next to me. We're waiting to go on Never a Foul in a minute, yeah, and it's just like he just done this most. The burp was mental. Did you not even hear that?
Did he burp? What?
No, it was mad. It sounded like a growl burp. But anyways, but
No,
yeah, nah. Anyways, what was the question?
But bro, it's lumpy milk, G. Bro, it's lumpy milk, G. Like,
I don't know. I feel like it would have been clarified that it was made back then, but he hasn't moved. But for me, you don't drop that until maybe the end of the season.
Oh yeah, no, because he did. Yeah, he said he'd been left out the derby. George is right.
Yeah. He left out the derby. There you go. So yeah, for me, I feel like he's gone in January. I feel like you don't make that interview unless you've got suitors already.
Yeah, because bro,
you've got an idea.
At 27, do you really want to be missing 2/3 of a season?
And also, you got to think 2025. You got to be thinking about. Look, I'm guarantee he wants to be included in the next World Cup. So now you've got the World Cup qualifiers in 2025. You need to get in the good books of Tuchel, by the way, who speaks very highly of Rashford, by the way. Right? So not that I want him very highly. So he said if there's one player he wants to coach is Rashford. And obviously you got a year to prove that. And hopefully, for his sake, wherever you go, if it isn't Saudi, obviously it'll be difficult to get into the squad, in my opinion. Then yeah, I think like you go do your thing. Even if he's scoring bare goals for Arsenal, I don't mind, because the thing is, I see United fans say, if he goes to Arsenal, what happens if he wins them the league? So every time we come up and against Arsenal or they have a game, you don't rate them, you laugh at them, you ban at them, you say your bottle jobs. What makes the difference? What makes the difference? If your club's good, you go win the league anyways. So what if he wins them the league? If he wins the league, it's like fucking fair play, man. We got a star back on our hands. England, I want to go win the World Cup. There you go. You got my support there, man. But no one rates Arsenal like that. So if that's the case, keep the same energy. Why does one player change that when you don't rate Declan Rice or you don't rate Marino? You think it's a one-man team in Saka. You don't rate Havertz. You don't rate Jesus or whatever. Keep the same energy, innit? That's the way I'm looking at it. Is he another Martinelli? No, he's not. He's much better than Martinelli. I think under Arsenal...
Oh, yeah, he's much better than Martinelli.
I think he'd do really well for Arsenal. I'll be real. If he wants to do well and if he wants to put his head down. A bit like Sancho at the moment.
Well, do you know what I came up with? I came up with a little with a word that describes these types. I call them environmental footballers.
Environmental footballers.
Yeah, environmental footballers.
Yeah.
So they, no matter what the talent, so you could be as talented as Messi, you could be as talented as Martinelli. Yeah, it doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you're at. You're an environmental footballer. That means if you're not in the right environment, you will look like shit. You will play like dog shit.
Yeah.
Sancho is an environmental footballer. You know what I'm saying? How can you be looking a certain way at Man United? You go to Dortmund and look this good. Or look at Chelsea, play with a smile on your face, and now you're balling out. Now, if Rashford is surrounded by the right people in the right environment, I believe, as you said, we see that talent. Don't get me wrong. Sancho is miles clear of Rashford as a footballer, like as an actual footballer. But we're talking some footballers are just genuinely like, because remember, we're in a new era of ball, bro. Not every footballer is like hard as nails. Like, I don't give a fuck what's going on. Like, good or bad, you're going to get nitty and gritty when it comes to the game. It's not always like that. It's not always like that. It really isn't. So, this new age of footballers, they need an arm around them. They need to be told. You know what I'm saying? They need to be told this and that. You need to sprinkle a little, around it. But that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I got you. So yeah. But last thing we'll say with this. Does anyone think Marcus Rashford plays another game of football this season? As in,
I do.
When I say, well, at least until the next window.
Wait, if it's January. Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, he'll be on the bench.
Because you see what happened with Schweinsteiger, where he just kind of came in and just weren't wanted no more. It was that, I genuinely think, because selling Rashford, I know he had no legs, but selling Rashford, massive wages off the books, by the way. You're probably going to get a good influx of cash in there. It is right for both parties. And I just think Man United want him off the books as soon as possible. It's too early into the Amorim era for, I think, Amorim to say, I don't want him.
Yeah, maybe.
I think the club is generally just kind of done with it. And he's kind of going, all right, cool, whatever. I won't say nothing mad about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think he
That's
plays. I think he gets a game.
you think he gets a game? Yeah.
I think he will get a game. If he leaves, like especially if he leaves. If there's an agreement for him to leave and all that, then yeah, I reckon so.
All right. Well, chat. You don't know what to do in it. You don't know what to do. If you think Rashford plays another game this season,
I think if PSG lose Kola Moani, I think he could end up there as well. Because they don't want Kola Moani in it. If they can offload him.
Chat. You don't know what to do in it. Put yes if you think he plays another game. No if you think he's not playing. Like, you get it. Rashford is finished, blood. It's not happening. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? You lot, make sure we're smashing the like button. It's NAF time. You don't know what time it is. No, we won't be cooking daps for a whole hour like we did the other day. I know you guys like that. Listen, I enjoyed that. Listen, I wish it was that. I wish it was that. You know? But you know, we can only just a little bit of Man City seasoning. You know, we're gonna be going there. This is redirected. So again, there's 150 of you lot in here. So make sure we're going straight over. Also, before you do, make sure you smash the like button, man. I don't know how many likes we're on. We're on 66 likes, and the aim was 75. It should even be 100 to be fair. So let's just rise up those likes as we speak. Subscribe to the channel. This is a short one today. We're gonna be doing more of these, and we'll build it all up.
Oh yeah, me and Monts are gonna do a late reaction. Just us two tonight because we didn't go live earlier. My head was I went to bed late. My head was knocking. Couldn't be asked.
But yeah, big up everyone in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Monts, have you seen what Cass said about you on Faz's live? I don't know what he said about me on. I don't know.
It would have been nothing but positives.
I hope it was, blood. Man probably said I got a big head or some shit, bro.
You do though. Huh?
But I got a peanut, not a big head, blood. Big up everyone in the chat.
We're tomorrow. Yeah, we're tomorrow. Yeah.
Right, said Monts been getting too close to the camera. You lot, we're going over to NAF, man. We'll see you lot in a bit, man.
Could do.
Head over.
Yeah.